Friends, now we'll be studying regarding collenchyma. We have finished with parenchyma. Just let us know how the cell is going to appear. Now I have drawn with cell wall. How the cell wall is actually in parenchyma. In parenchymatous tissue, the cell wall was very thin. Now the deposition of cellulose, it might be hemicellulose, it might be, and very little amount of pectin we can see in this collenchyma tissue. So from parenchyma, the parenchymatous cell wall was having very thin cell wall. There was no any such kind of cellulose deposition. Only the cell wall was made up of hemicellulose and pectin. Here slowly the cellulose started to add up and pectin started to reduce. Sake of that, still this tissue is living. We can tell that still the tissue is showing the vital activity of the living cell. So we call it as living. Due to the thickening of the cell wall, due to the deposition of the hemicellulose or cellulose, it starts to show thickening of the cell wall. The cell wall has thickened in this fashion. So we call it as living mechanical tissue. Where all the hard parts you can see, a little softer parts in plants we can see parenchyma and more in amount. As the hardness keeps on increasing, slowly it shifts from parenchyma to collenchyma and collenchyma to sclerenchyma. Next, this deposition of cell wall is from the inner side of the cell, not from the outer side. The cell is going to secrete the components needed for the development of thick cell wall. In this fashion, the thickening of cell wall is seen in collenchyma. Due to which what happens here, it gives a little mechanical strength, not fully mechanical, a little mechanical strength as compared to the sclerenchyma. It is having middle wall layer. Just I'll draw this one, then you people can understand it more easily in this fashion. In between you can see this middle lamella, which is the connecting cement between all the cells. Not only that, it is also having some plasmodesmatal connection from one cell to another cell. This earlier I could have explained it, but now you people can also understand the concept more easily. Just the plasmodesmatal connection was even there in the parenchymatous cells also. Okay. What I have drawn with this green color is actually the plasma membrane. What actually I have drawn is plasma membrane, and plasmodesmatal connection is seen from one cell to the another cell which is adjacent to it. Where all the cells are adjacent to it, in this fashion, if the cell was this side, here, then here, then here. In this fashion, each and every cell is having plasmodesmatal connection, so that due to that connection, the transportation of food or water can be occurred very smoothly. First, we shall know the nature of cell wall. What does the cell wall do? The cell wall, initially, in case of parenchyma, what it does is, this cell wall is more permeable to all the things it can transport. All other things it can transport more easily. But due to the thickening of cell wall, now the transportation has been reduced, so that very little amount of molecules, where all the pores are present, where the thickening is very less, there the transportation is carried out, not through all the side. So where all the deposition is going to occur, depending upon that, collenchyma is mainly divided into angular, lacular and lamellar. In case of angular, what happens? Where all the angle is present, there the thickening we can say, not throughout the cell wall. Where all the angles are present, only there you can see the thickening. In case of lacunar, here thickening is distributed all over the intracellular space. Where all the intracellular space is seen, there all the thickening is seen in this fashion. Intracellular space ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲೇ thickening ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. In between the cells there is a kind of space. In that fashion the thickening can be seen. If this is a cell and here is a space, in this fashion lacunar thickening you can see. In case of lamellar, we can see the thickening on the tangential walls. Here they are like plate-like thickenings. Uniformly, the cells are being thickened on the tangential walls, where in case of lamellar. In this fashion, the collenchyma has been divided into angular, lacunar and laminar depending upon the thickening. So, the whole and sole function of these collenchyma cells are, now as you have seen, we can see the collenchyma cells on the stem of the dicot, hypodermal region of the dicot stem you can see. Next you can see on the leaf texture and the hypodermal region of the dicot leaf also, and sometimes you can see. So such kind of mechanical support this collenchyma is going to give, and it is not only giving mechanical support, and as it is having living protoplasm, it is also a living cell. So it is a living mechanical tissue. So in next class we'll be dealing up with the sclerenchyma, friends. Thank you.